Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Let's Code Duke Nukem, where we aim to recreate the original EGA action platformer, released in 1991. It's been a while since we've been implementing items that are dropped from boxes, so in today's episodes we are making a return to that. We will finally complete our cycle of bonus items by implementing the balloon that is contained in several blue boxes, but also the D, U, K, and E letters that are contained in some other gray boxes. Finally, we will add the dynamite that is contained in many of the gray boxes that will explode outwards after a brief moment. So be on the lookout for that. All right, let's go. So we are back at the Duke 1 level format page once again to figure out the tiles used for the balloons. So let's take a quick look here. So here we can see that the balloons are in the object 1 file, tiles 19 to 23. So here I have it already opened, and here we can see the entire objects file, and the balloons are here. So we have one graphic for the balloon when it's floating. We got the string attached to the balloon, and here we have the balloon while it's popping. So yeah, I think that's enough to start implementing our balloon. So let's go to our active package and add a new class that says that it's a balloon, and let's extend item so that it allows us to pick up this guy. So let's create a balloon, and we said that the tile index was where's the balloon? There. So 19 in object 1. So that is 69 for the default tile. So that should be here. But we need to render the balloon ourselves because the balloon is made up of two tiles. So render draw tile assets get object 69 xy for the inflated part, and then for the string we need to draw object 70 just beneath it. So we need to draw this at the y plus tile size position. So the string is animated. And now we do support animation in our items, but the default implementation is only 3 frames, for the radios and the flags and stuff. And while the balloon has 3 frames, they are animated a lot slower. So what I will do is I will just implement the update method ourselves. Tell frames to increment frames +1, and then when we have 3 frames, each lasting 4 ticks, so we'll percent this guy by 12, and then we'll increment the rope by frame divided by 4. So every 4 frames this will move up 1 additional frame, so that should allow the string at the bottom of the balloon to move a little bit. Yeah, so let's have the balloon move up. So the velocity y should be -1. Then we'll call super.update to make sure it floats upwards. And this super.update will also handle the picking up of the balloon. But we still need to implement the correct score, because if we look here, we have a default score of 100 points for everything. So that's also something that we'll fix in just a moment. So let's see, a balloon is 10,000 points. So let's add that score here. All right, so yeah, let's see if we can have a balloon spawn. Of course, we need to add the balloon to the box that contains the balloon. So here it is. So we have a new balloon X and Y. So let's run the game. And let's find a balloon here on the way on the left. All right, so here we got a balloon. It's slowly floating up. And I can pick it up for 10,000 points. Okay, so that is step 1. Now a balloon can pop, it can break when you shoot it and when it bumps its head. And then we should display the popped graphic, so we need to keep track of if the balloon is popped or not. So let's keep track of a private boolean that says popped. And default is of course false. And then here we need to display a different graphic, so we can say if the balloon is popped, then it's graphic 73. Otherwise, it's graphic index 69. And yeah, let's implement the bump method. So if the balloon bumps its head, then we'll pop the balloon. Popped is true. And also when the balloon is hit by our pistol, being by our bolts, We'll also set popped to true. And if popped is true, then we need to do something about our update here, because then it should not float up anymore. So if it's popped, otherwise perform the logic as usual. Not sure about if the frame should still update. I think it should. I think the string should still move even though it's popped or not. Maybe the string should even start falling down. Would be cool. Not sure if that happens in the original game. We'll take a look. But yeah, if it's popped, then let's just set active to false and let the balloon be removed. And of course, when a balloon is popped, we should add a smoke effect. So state add effect, new smoke, X and Y. All right, let's find a balloon that we can pop. So over to the right here, there's a balloon that is sitting just below a ceiling. So let's shoot them and let's see what happens. All right, so that balloon gets destroyed, so that's pretty cool. And then let's find another balloon and see if we can shoot it. So this is a balloon, and let's shoot it with our gun. All right, so it's not shootable just yet because I forgot to implement the can shoot method. Can be shot, and this guy can definitely be shot. Okay, let's run over to our left balloon here. And let's try, oh damn it, I picked it up. So here it should be a bunch of balloons that we're going to shoot. Yeah, and we can shoot them. All right, that leaves us with the spawning location. As you can see, the balloon is spawning a bit too low. It should spawn just a little bit up. So let's set a nice little offset for the balloon here. So the Y position should be a little bit higher. And we need to update our box, because if a box moves, the content should move with it. So if contents is not empty, then we should also move the contents. So here we move the contents at the very last moment. So what we should do is we should calculate an offset. So if the contents X, and then compare it to the current X, and then the same goes for the Y position. And then contents, let's move the contents to our X plus the offset, and the Y plus the offset. So now the balloon should keep its relative position to the box, being 16 pixels more up. So if we shoot these boxes, like the items should still be in the same spot that they were, but the balloon is different. The balloon should spawn one row up. And there we go, the balloon spawns a bit higher. So that is all functioning as I would expect. All right, so that does it for the balloons. Let's take a second to fix the other items points, because at the moment all of these items are 100 points, which is not correct. So I think what we'll do for that is just keep a protected integer points, and we'll make that part of the constructors. So that each item can pass in the amount of points that they're worth, and possibly override it. So let's see, a football is 100 points, a drumstick, I don't know, also 100, soda can, 200 maybe, we'll have to check. The drumstick and the soda can have different scores depending on which state the item in. You can like shoot the soda can for it to like blow up, and then it scores 1,000. So that is something we need to, we'll spend an episode fixing the health items. So the floppy disk is worth 5,000 points. The joystick is 2,000 points. Now the flag is a bit different. It is worth different points depending on which animation frame it is in. So let's override the picked up method here. And then let's say the points depends on the frame that the current animation is in. So by default it is 100. And frame 0 is then also 100. And then frame 1 it's 2000. And then frame number 2 it is 5000. And then we'll do the same for the radio. So this should fix the amount of points for these items. Now let's see, we have some couple of other items. So we have a balloon, of course, and we said it's 10,000 points. So then the picked up method here can go because the superclass then handles it for us. And we got the key, and the key is 1,000 points. But we still need to update our inventory. So let's do a super.pickedup state first for the scoring, and then add the key to the inventory. Okay, let's see if the game still works with these updated scores. And yeah, that is looking... So all these flags are 5,000 now? Yeah, there's 100, so I got lucky. 100. Football, 100. Joystick, flag. All right. So yeah, that's looking decent. So we're missing some points here. For example, when you shoot a camera, we should get some points, plus sparks and stuff. So let's see, Acme. Where do we score? Here. Let's also just add the effect. New score x8, y 500. And we also need to spawn some particles. State x plus 8, y. And sparks, I guess. New spark x plus 8, y. Okay, and then we also want to do that for the camera real quick. So when we hit it, we increase the score. We add effect, new score x, y 100, and we spark it up. All right. So that is it for the balloons and the items and the correct points for everything, as far as I can see. So yeah, next up I think we'll do the DUKE letters. So let's go ahead and create a new class called a letter. And this also will extend item. Now, let's see here. So we need to know which letter this represents. So we need to pass in the character. That will determine the tile ID. And the points of each letter is always going to be 500. All right, so let's say the default is going to be -1. And then let's just do each letter. The U, K, and the E. And then let's go into our object file and let's find these letters. So here they are. They're right next to the keys. So if we take the red key and then -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go to the red key. Which tile index is that? That's 124 -6, so that is 118. So I'm guessing this is it. All right, and then we got the letters here. Yeah, these are just regular old bonuses. So let's override the picked up method here. And then let's have a to-do, check if all letters are picked up in order. And yeah, let's add these letters to the active factory. Now let's find out which box contains the letter. So I think if we look for like a D, Oh, here it is. Contains D. So that's 3037 and up. So let's do that here. Case this guy is a new box, box.gray, new item, new letter, I guess, X, Y, D. And then here we have these, they can go, and then we'll add them here. So this 38, 39, 3A, D, U, K, and E. Okay, let's run over to the spot in the level where these letters are located. D, U, K, E. All right. We'll do the in order pickup bonus later because we're already taking like 15 minutes and I want to spend some time working on the dynamite. So let's first implement the dynamite, and then if we have some time left, we can see if we can increase the bonus, picking up the last letter. So yeah. Okay, now let's first do, like I said, the dynamite. So let's add a new class called dynamite. And let's just extend active, public. So a dynamite has a fuse that counts down. Fuse is, I don't know, let's take 16 frames. Let's have our update method. Let's, if fuse is larger than 0, I guess I can just do fuse minus minus. And if it's less than or equal to 0, will explode. Private void explode. Game state. State. And yeah, then this guy should disappear. But then explosions should appear. But yeah, let's first just add and render the dynamite. So let's see if we can find the dynamite here. But I think I'll refer to the level format because I can't seem to find it. So dynamite, there we go. So it's in anim2, tile 17, and it's box 3012. So let's add box 3012 to our active factory here. So case 3012, new box gray, XY, new dynamite, XY. Remove this one. Okay. So let's open up the anim sheet. Let's wait for it to appear. All right, so here's the explosion. We're going to need that. But here is the dynamite. It's only 2 frames. I'm guessing it alternates every other frame. So let's just keep, I guess we have a fuse. We can use that for rendering. So anim2 is 17, so that's tile 117. So renderer.draw tile assets, assets get anim 117 plus the fuse %2. So every other frame will display something else, X and Y. And when this guy explodes, it will get removed. All right, that's fine. So yeah, I think this will show some dynamite. And there should be some dynamite in this box here. All right, so that wasn't 100% correct. Tile index 17 on anim2, 116 then. There we go. All right, so when it explodes, explosions fan out from left to the right. So I guess we'll first add an explosion, and we'll add it into the enemies package because it hurts Dukes. It hurts Duke. So let's make an explosion active tile. Extends active. Let's create a constructor, and then let's see if we can make this guy touch Duke and hurt him. So how do we do that in the patrol bot here? We have just this here. I guess we'll do that as well. So we have the update method. So if we collide with Duke, then that is it. All right, let's check it out. How many frames does an explosion have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 frames. Okay. So that's 6 frames, private int frames. And then if frames is greater than 6, active is false. And yeah, we'll just update frames plus plus. And then when we render, renderer draw tile assets get anim something plus the frame. I guess I just have to rename this guy to frame. X and Y. And then let's figure out the base tile. So if this was 116, then this is 2, 4, 6. How many tiles is this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 22. So there's 116 minus 22. I think it's going to be 94. So the explosion is 94. Okay, so when the dynamite explodes, state spawn new explosion XY. And then this guy should explode and possibly hurt Duke. So let's see if that happens. All right, it did something. We did not do the correct tile because you could see it rendered part of the exit there. So I'm not too sure. Maybe we should start at frame 92, maybe, or 93, perhaps. Guess I miscounted. Yeah, that's it. That's looking good. Okay, so that's the explosion. Now the dynamite spawns a single explosion, but every frame it's exploding outward. So it's propagating the explosion in both directions. So let's see if we can do that. So I guess we need to keep track private int of the explosions. So we have a possible of 8 explosions. Explosions is 0. So if the fuse is less than 0, then we explode and we spawn an explosion. So if explosion, so on the first explosions we spawn a single one, else we're going to spawn, if we can, in both directions. Else if explosions is less than 8, spawn left and right. And if explosions exceeded 8, then we'll clean this up. So let's just spawn blindly explosions in all directions and let's see what happens. So explosion X minus explosions times the tile size. So this is where they should spawn. And then all we have to do is check whether or not there's a solid tile and a free spot for us to explode to. So now I expect we need to increment explosions, of course. So here, explosions plus plus. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, that's one. And the other direction should plus. So this is going to go in both directions. And it's going a bit fast. and it's falling down, but I guess we're not supposed to spawn these explosions anyway. So yeah, let's add that check as well. And it's going really far, so 8 might be a bit too much. 6 might be the number. Okay, so let's check if we can explode. So private boolean can explode. Int x, int y. And then let's do a row is y, of course, divided by the tile size. And column. And then return boolean free is, I guess we need to pass in the level, come on, import, yeah, level get tile row goal is solid, I mean, so it cannot be, it has to be a solid tile. Solid ground should be row +1. So return free and solid ground. So let's int left x is this guy, and right x is a plus. If can explode, state level left x y, then spawn an explosion on the left, and if we can explode, state get level right y, and then spawn an explosion on the right. Okay, let's see if we have some reasonable behavior here. All right, so now it just refused to fan out. All right. And this copying pasting is going to be the death of me sometimes. All right. So yeah, I think the explosion still, the graphics is still not the correct ones. But I guess we should not render the dynamite itself while it's exploding. So only render the dynamite if the fuse is greater than 0. All right. Okay, and I guess the pushing of the explosions outward is also going a bit fast here. And it should stop once it reached a gap, I guess. So let's keep track, I guess. Private boolean left and right. Let's initialize these guys to true. I guess we'll do that once we actually explode. So if the explosion is exactly 0 and we explode, then set left and right to true. If left, then do stuff. If we can explode, else left is false. And the same goes with right. Should we explode to the right, then do so. But if we cannot, then stop going into that direction. All right. So now it should not cross this gap. and it doesn't. Okay, so now I guess we just need to slow down the rate of explosions just a little bit. So here we're incrementing the explosion every single frame. Yeah, I guess we just need to do it every other frame. So, I don't know, can we do fuse %2 is exactly even, then increment this thing. Let's see if that slows it down. Not sure if this is the correct behavior though. But this slows it down to the point where I think it's more correct. Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay, yeah, I think that wraps it up for today. We've came a long way again, spent a lot of time, but really adding to the danger of the level. We have explosions, we have letters, we have balloons, we have dynamite. All right, so I think that about wraps it up for today. So we've came a long way. It's been a long episode again, but yeah, we've implemented some crucial items again, so that's pretty nice. So join me for next episode where we will cover the remaining pickups in the level, the nuclear molecule that replenishes Duke's health, but also the turkey leg that can be shot, the soda can be shot. And yeah, if Duke drops down to 0 health, he should die and respawn. So I think we'll tackle all those subjects in the next episode. So hope to catch you then. If you have any questions, then feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you like the series so far, then hopefully you can drop a like and a subscribe. All right, see you guys next time.